Hi, everybody. Welcome to my presentation on the dominance of Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. So, Pep Guardiola is one of the most influential and touted managers in the world. Guardiola had immense success with Barcelona, winning the Champions League twice with one of the best teams to ever play the game. And after his stint at Barcelona, he moved to Bayern but was not able to replicate the same European success he had with Barcelona. Manchester City planned to get him next and wanted his tiki-taka football philosophy at the club so they could see the same success. Although Manchester City was doing well before Guardiola, the style of play was old and the manager was too stubborn. Manuel Pellegrini, the manager at the time, had success with the team and even won a Premier League, but he was unable to maintain this success after his first season. Even before Guardiola joined the club, Manchester City consulted him on the signings of new players he wanted to come to the team, such as Kevin De Bruyne, who had blossomed into the best midfielder on the planet. While Guardiola was at Bayern, however, he had success implementing his tiki-taka football system, but he also stalled in his progress and wanted a new challenge. In 2016, Manchester City offered him a contract, and he joined the club with high hopes of replicating his success at Barcelona, but now in the Premier League. When Guardiola first joined the team, he had a number of issues at all levels of the club, including player and philosophy implementation. Manuel Pellegrini left him a strong squad, but the squad was built for Manuel Pellegrini's system and not the Guardiola system. The squad was old and filled with players past their prime, and they did not have the ability to perform in the Guardiola system, especially at the position of fullback, which are essential to the Guardiola system working. Manchester City was severely lacking in both speed and quality at that position, and without competent fullbacks, the squad failed to perform up to the high standards that Guardiola set out for the team. The majority of the other players in the squad did not fit the technical ability requirements or physical fitness requirements, such as Kolarov, Yaya Toure, and Nolito. In his first year, Guardiola struggled to find his best 11, and it did not help that there were a plethora of goalkeeping errors with the team. The first year was a failure in terms of trophies, since his philosophy did not work with the players currently in the squad, and there was also an inability to press without the ball due to lack of physical fitness within the team. Before his second year at the club, Guardiola knew he needed to make a multitude of squad changes in order to be successful. The club spent hundreds of millions of dollars on players like Kyle Walker, Ederson, Benjamin Mendy, Danilo, Bernardo Silva, and they better fit the Guardiola possession football philosophy, while getting rid of the old players such as Wilfried Bony, Nolito, Kolarov, Joe Hart, Gael Clichy, Jesus Navas, and Pablo Zabaleta. With this change in the squad, Manchester City went from one of the oldest teams in the Premier League to the youngest, which was needed to keep the high press and play in speed in the Guardiola system. Guardiola implemented the 4-3-3 possession system, where possession was of the utmost importance, and on defense, the fullbacks, who in the old system could not retreat quickly, could now sprint back and help, while also being able to join the attack when needed. This allowed the bullish front five of Sané, Sterling, Aguero, De Bruyne, and Silva to focus on breaking down the opponent's defense and less on coming back on playing defense for Manchester City. Manchester City won the Premier League while accumulating the most total points in the history of the league, 100, while second place only had 80. However, they did not experience the same amount of success in the Champions League and lost to Liverpool. Although Guardiola experienced great success in his first year, especially domestically, his second year, he further looked to strengthen the squad for European success. They had a good core squad that understood their philosophy, but it needed some additions to keep it strong. The addition of Riyad Mahrez, a former PFA Player of the Year winner, allowed Guardiola to rotate his attack while still having the quality in the squad to perform at a high level. During this season, however, Liverpool emerged to be the next great challenger of City. And even though Manchester City beat them in the league only by 1 point, Liverpool showed that same dominance that Guardiola showed in the Premier League, but under Jurgen Klopp's high press philosophy and counter-attack play. Although the squad showed the same amount of resilience, they needed to be improvements for the future to keep up with the new title challengers of Liverpool. There is no doubting the amount of success that Guardiola has had with Manchester City in his 4 years with the club. The squad is relatively young, with players like John Stones, Emerick Laporte, De Bruyne, Sterling, Silva, Mahrez, all being in their early to mid-20s. and there is room for growth in the squad. Squad depth is strong, however, and the issue of fullback, especially left fullback, has been a problem for Manchester City, with Mendy being injured and not being competent. Furthermore, with Laporte being injured and a long-time captain Vincent Kompany leaving, Fernandinho, a defensive midfielder, has had to step into center back, which is not his natural position. Fernandinho himself is very old, and Guardiola signed Rodri this season as a replacement for him at center defensive midfielder, but Guardiola should look at buying a new center back in the future. However, with Guardiola, the future might not be as bright without him at the club. Other clubs are seeing the domestic success Manchester City is having and are looking for that same success. Guardiola is the type of manager to embrace new challenges and could leave in the near future, which would be detrimental to the team. Furthermore, with the Champions League ban looming on Manchester City, Guardiola might look at another club seeking that elusive trophy that has evaded him since his Barcelona days. Thank you for listening to my presentation.